So guys, it's a little noisy, but good things are happening today. After yesterday, and a little bit today, I went outside to do the animals. Was checking on the sap wagon, which is up over there. And it happens to be that sound that you're hearing between the quad and the pump means that I'm pumping sap. So, I'm pumping sap to the evaporation pan, which is set up on a pig table. So we're filling that up. I got it on a low heat right now, just while I get it filled. When I looked at it, I probably have about 5 gallons, maybe a little bit more, who knows, at this point. But I wanted to share that with you guys, get you excited about it. I'll show you the setup here in a minute. But basically what I've done, again, I bought a, like I explained in the video earlier, sap wagon, which is my collection point. Brought it down to 3/8 pipe fitting, or no, hose clamps or hose barbs. So I'm running a 3/8 hose down from the sap wagon down to the evaporation pan. The pump is a high performance high flow pump. It's a pump you would normally use for an evaporate, or for a poly, for like a sprayer. Hold on a second. Basically means we're empty, which is cool. So I'm just gonna let it continue to fill here. But then I've put it in a battery box on a little bit of a stand so that it's up off the bottom of the battery box. I drilled 2 holes into the battery box, one for the inside, one for going in, one for going out. This way at least the battery box is protected, or the pump's protected while I'm not using it. The reason you're hearing the quad is because of that pump. That pump's run off a battery, so I'm running it off the quad battery. Don't necessarily think I need to spend the money on a deep cell battery, which is what they recommend for that. So hold on a second, I gotta pause this so I can take down the pump. Okay, so now we're back, turned off the pump, ran out of sap, which is okay. Getting a little bit of a late start today anyways. But that's just the way it goes. So, sorry, I'm trying to shut down this tripod a little bit, just so I can actually like show you around here. So, as I was explaining, the pump, there's 50-foot 3/16 or 3/8 line that runs from the sap line down through over to here, and here is the pump. So basically, like I said, I drilled a hole through each side of the battery box, attach the hose to either side, goes through this way obviously. Attach it to some wood so it's up off the bottom of the box, gives it a little bit better space just in case there happens to get water in there. Goes to a 2-prong, just a simple little 2-prong accessory set to the battery clamps with a on-off switch here. So again, running it off the quad there, pretty easy. Then the line goes out into the brains of the operation here. So this is the evaporation pan that I have. It does have a 1/2-inch spout on the side here, so when it's ready to go, it's good to go. Like I was explaining in the videos before, I do use a Camp Chef Expedition 3X camp stove. Find it's actually really nice. Downside is I wish I could find an evaporation pan that would fit on all 3 burners, but that's okay. So then I run it from a 100-pound tank with a Y on it to here, to the awesomeness that is the sap in there. I do also have a turkey fryer there, a single burner turkey fryer with another couple pots just in case. That is my pre-warming station. If I had more sap, that would be I'd be using that too. but because I am not, don't have that much sap. Because today is a little colder. There will be videos posted on the I think there's videos posted on the Facebook page already that have the sap dropping, the sap flowing through the lines in the woods, and then the sap in the collection point in that 35-gallon tank on the sap wagon. So, with that being said, we now have to sit here and wait and boil and boil and boil. If you have no knowledge previous of sap, of maple sugaring, it takes about 40 gallons of sap to get 1 gallon of syrup. That's a significantly high number. Which means there's a lot of time boiling. Because the sap is primarily water. So you have to boil off all that water to get to the sweetness that is the syrup. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Normally I try to wait for boils to do, I usually wait for quite a significant amount of sap to boil. Unfortunately, having a full-time job, that's not sugaring, or a job that I can, kind of adjust my hours as needed. I have to boil on the days off I have, so that's that. So while this boils down, we can talk a little bit about the other stuff that, the other tools and stuff that I have that I didn't go over yesterday with you, or go over in the previous video with you guys, or in the beginning of this video, because this is the maple sugaring video. Hopefully be two videos this week, probably not, but we'll see. So I do use a metal pot pan set. Like I said, pots, pans, primarily industrial stuff. The kitchen store type stuff. So none of the, none of this fancy Martha Stewart's crap. Sorry, my apologies there. Not saying her stuff's not good, just saying it's not good for sap, not good for maple syruping. So I do use pot pan set like that, primarily just a ladle and a spoon just to stir everything around. I do use filter paper when I'm filtering the sap before it becomes actual syrup. I use cheesecloth sometimes. I've also found that this is actually maple syrup filters that we use too. And I'll show you that process as we go along. I do also use a hydrometer. Fragile, it's glass. And I'll kind of explain this as we go when I use it. So there's a hydrometer there. Basically gives you the bricks or the sugar content of the syrup. This one happens to be from Tap My Trees, which is how I actually started maple sugaring. And with that fancy tool, you have to have a fancy cup. This cup fills, you take it and you fill it up about 3 inches below, I find is the best way to do it. But it tells you what the bricks is. It floats, the hydrometer floats in this container, so that's good there. I'm trying to see what else is out here before we go back inside. Not a whole lot of anything. Just the filters. Well, there's my drill bits that I was looking for. Okay, so now we're gonna go inside because, like they say, watch pot never boil. Same kind of concept, but we make sure we come out on a regular basis to check everything. And I also have to get the lid for the battery box, so I can kind of tuck the battery box back up onto the sap wagon. And then I'll take some time and show you guys everything else. That's the inside process. Pretty cool stuff there. Nothing, well, not anything really fancy, but stuff nonetheless. So like I said, I'd take you inside and show you the other stuff we use here. So, where'd it go? There it is. We use a thermometer, big old thermometer. We went big. This thing is massive. It's an actual like huge thermometer. We use it to sit on the outside of the pan normally, which means I gotta get this back outside. Usually sits on the outside of the evaporation pan because I usually like to try to keep temp on that. I try to like to keep it around like 200-ish. While it's boiling at least. You usually try to boil it past the water boiling point. That way you can it'll boil off the water quicker. And then you usually set it when you go to bottle. A lot of people bottle at like 198 or 180. I'm about that, give or take. I've never actually like looked at it. I know once it reaches a certain point, once it starts like sheeting off the spoon, once I bring it inside to finish boiling, I find it, it's once it's sheeting, it's good to go, and I'll show you that too. But this thermometer, we talked about the hydrometer before. This is the same hydrometer. Actually, it's a different hydrometer. This one is a non-Vermont tested hydrometer. So this does have your bricks on it here on this side. It's hard to tell with the lighting, but your bricks is on this side. There's two red lines on here. Your top red line, which is the one that's closest to my nose if you go this way, is the hot test. The lower one is your cold test. Anything you test, your hot test is anything 211 and up, or you test when it's at 211. Your cold test is 60 degrees. So we use that to make sure we're in the right zone. And again, this will float once we put it in the hydrometer cup. Again, hydrometer cup, nothing fancy. It's a big old tube, pretty much, that fits the cup, fits the hydrometer. So like I said, when I use my tools, no Martha Stewart here, no Rachel Ray here. This is just a traditional industrial ladle that you can get at any kitchen store or Walmart. Big old stir spoon, again, not Martha Stewart here. No way, no thanks. So, any kitchen store, very nice. So then, this is where I get a little off the beaten track with everybody else. You'll see people using filter stands. I use a filter stand. I use a coffee filter stand. So I cut the filter down to fit in this cup, and then it's got two holes. It's got a hole in the bottom, and it filters through that, and it catches a lot of the sugar sand, which is really fine, really fine, kind of grossness that sits at the bottom of maple sugar or maple syrup. The bottom of maple syrup. There we go. Talk right, Josh. And I have two of these. So I have one like this, and then my other one I got, from a subscription box back when I was doing, outdoor type stuff. Before I settled down to become a farmer. Again, it's just a cup. Again, it's just a coffee filter cup, except it collapses. So cool there. I don't remember where I got it, who makes it. Like I said, it was a subscription box that I had got when I was doing outdoor stuff. So there's that. And then basically I just use one of the pots that I have outside, bring that inside, and finish boiling inside. I do use mason jars for my maple syrup. I find that it's, for personal use, it's fine. You know, we're not doing, like I said, we're not looking to commercialize it. Anything I do get extra this year, we'll see if we can sell it. I did buy 12 ounce thinner, ovally tall jars, like you'd find on a grocery store shelf. Got grading stickers as well, which reminds me, I got another fancy tool. Hold on 2 seconds. So the other fancy tool I got this year, we've changed it up a little bit in how we're doing this thing. It's pretty sweet. Haven't used it yet. But I bought this little purple guy here. So this is a digital grater maple syrup thing. So basically you take it. Ooh, so you got the instructions on the back. Sweet. First time I've actually pulled it out of the box since I ordered it. But basically you take, they have a checker system that you use. A checker basically cleans it out, make sure there's nothing wrong with the device. Just a clear liquid. It's probably just like, you take one of the little things, fill it up. They already have a pre-filled one. You take that, put that in here, and it just checks it. Then you fill up another one of the glass ones with your maple syrup, clean the outside, drop it in there, and it grades it. Then on the back, it's got your fancy grading. So it's got your golden with delicate taste, your amber with a rich taste, your dark with a robust, and then you got very dark with strong. And I realize that I'm holding this up to the camera and it's all backwards to you guys, so that's my fault. My apologies there. But Sam, she prefers the dark robust or the very dark strong. So, you know, she uses that all. She prefers that over all the other gradings there. So, but we'll be able to use that this year for this, which is pretty cool. Comes in a nice cool little box from Hannah Industries or Instruments. So we use that. Like I said, once we start it going, we'll be able to show you guys that. So, check back in a little bit. So, as you can see, our venue's changed a little bit. We've gone from outside, boiling at the picnic table, to inside, boiling on the stovetop. Basically just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to see the difference so far in the syrup, or in the sap process, the sugaring process as a whole. Yeah. So this is, obviously, as you can see, there is a significant difference in how much there is. Again, this is that 40-to-1 ratio. And right now we're hovering at roughly 13 degrees that we've tested it on 2 different devices, or the big long thermometer that we had outside and a handheld digital thermometer there. So basically we're just boiling it down, so we'll see what we get for a final total. I think about a pint by the time everything's said and done, but we'll see. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so now that I've been boiling this down for a bit, we want to test the bricks on it, so the sugar content. So what we're doing here is we're taking the hydrometer cup and we're going to fill it up with some sap, some syrup, hopefully. Well, whatever this may be at this point in time. But we will see momentarily. Okay, so that's about enough of what we do, what I test with. Then we take the hydrometer, leaving the sap on the syrup, or leaving the sap on there. I then drop the hydrometer in here and just kind of let it do its thing. So that tink on the bottom means it's not ready at all. So we still got a ways to go. But this way I can show you kind of how it would normally float. With a hot test, you'd be flowing about right here, in this range. This is what your sugar content would want to be, right around 60. 65 is where Sam likes it, right in this range here, just because it is a darker sap, or a darker syrup there. So we'll take that out, return that test sample back into the pan, and wait again for another couple minutes. Probably another 5-10 minutes, maybe closer to 20 minutes at this point, but we'll see. But this shows you kind of the process as we go through it. So check back with you in a bit.
140 is medium, so.
So here we are for test number 2.
Hey, Media, no.
Baby's in the background doing whatever she's doing.
Put her in there with you. Maybe she wants
So again, it's not there yet because it did a thud. So we'll see. Like I said, we normally test it when it's 211, which we'll take a look at, see if we can get that. See what that temp is. But again, we'll return it to continue to cook. Like I said again, I think we're only going to get a pint, but we'll see. Really hoping it'll start doing its thing when it needs to here. So, okay, so here we are. I showed you the second test, didn't show you the third. But we're also trying to figure out what grade it is by using the fancy digital grader that we got here. It is in the ready to go stage at the moment. I'm filtering some of this out to see what we can do, because I did get a faulty result, because basically it said it was at a dark robust, and I don't understand how it's dark. So we're actually going to take and filter some of this out, and then we're going to put... Why is it every YouTube video that we do together, or that you do, you have to drop a swear somewhere? This is why we can't have kid-friendly videos. Like, I was doing great, fantastically today. But, whatever. It's another point in time. So, just kind of want to show you that. Look at that. That nice ambery color. Look at that. It's so pretty.
It's actually darker than I thought it was.
It looks a lot darker, yes. I wish it would filter so that I could actually take some out of it and, you know, test this so we can see actually what we're getting. Because I think... Well, so I think I'm going to change this out quick. Yeah.
Just don't go vaccinations.
So, but as it's dripping away here, let's see if we can finagle this. I think we can. This is not a very scientific method to do, but you know what?
Are you not talking for a minute?
No, I'm talking still. Well, it doesn't matter at this point.
Sorry, I needed foil for the potatoes.
No, that's fine. So this is what happens when I boil. Regardless of what time I boil and how much I boil, I'm always boiling until, you know, dinner time, bedtime. Like, it's just, there's never a consistent.
Speaking of dinner, do you want to show them this deliciousness before you take it away, or no?
Yeah, why not? I'm sitting here tapping away on syrup, trying to get 10 milliliters in here. So I guess we're adding a cooking portion to this video.
Yeah, I'll make sure this recipe gets in the description.
So, give me 2 seconds here, because I'm still trying to load this up. Come on. The one thing I realized with these filters, second you're using the actual filters. Before I was just using coffee filters, because, well, they are just coffee filter systems things here.
Okay, well, not that I want to rush you. I have to get these out.
I know, hold on. There. Looks like a bad urine test. So here we are, moving along. Moving around a bit. Foil pack potatoes. It looks like they're coated in olive oil.
Yep.
Paprika?
Yep. A little bit of cumin, salt, pepper, and garlic powder.
Yep. To go with the roast that we're having tonight
Yep.
for dinner. So we're showing you that too. May as well. Ow! Making a day of this whole endeavor. So there we are, back to here. Now that it's filtering, oh well. We're gonna take. Oh, it turned off. Gotta redo it. Crap. Okay, so it says reference on here, REF. So you pop the glycerin pack in here, and boom, push the button. It'll do its thing. It'll chirp, 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 chirp. It says see you. So it is ready to go. It's clear. There's nothing in there. So there. So we take our syrup and pour it in this container here.
Your wife's an idiot.
Why?
I don't know why I thought it was fucking... Oh. The probe with my finger.
Oh, burning in?
Hurt my thumb.
And she drops the F-bomb. Oh, that's nice.
Right? There we go. I have to turn that.
Turn it?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so as I run off camera quick, give it a quick little wipe down. So, because I spilled some on the side. Way to go, me. But look at that thing there. Look at that. Just gorgeous. So we take it, put it in the reference. We put it in the checker. Close the lid. Push the thing. 67. So it's technically an amber rich. That's cool. So, but that's a nice, cool little way to do that. It's really cool, actually. Cool. That makes sense, though. Would be amber. So there's that. So now, basically, all I'm doing now, I'm going to dump that back in there. I'm going to have to clean these, which is fine. I don't mind. It's a lot of dishes during the day for sap day. Sap syrup day. For sugaring. So it is a 67, which puts it at a amber rich.
Well, that makes more sense.
Yes, yes it does. So I think it just needed to be cleaned.
Yeah.
It needed to be filtered, which is fine. So then we'll just take the ladle again, drop it in here, and watch it not filter like it should. This is the one thing I had issues with last year, was the build up there. What?
Do you want to try my milk filter and those filters?
No. Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's try it.
Oh, especially, as I say, I think it's all in the bag.
It is. I don't think the funnel is there. See, I wish we made these. I wish they made this for like the syrup. Whatever. So.
Make sure it clicks into place. There you go.
It is. I'll make sure. So now we're trying the filter thing.
The milk filter.
The milk filter. There we go. Correct terminology already. Pop that in there. Pop that up. Pull this out. Look how phenomenal we work together as a team. It's great. My only concern is it, like that's, so when I was talking about that sugar, that sugar sand in the bottom of this is kind of, I wish I had a better, grab the camera here, going on a trip. This is what I'm talking about. It's that junk in there, which bogs it up, but you don't want that in your syrup. And that doesn't seem to be doing any better.
It is.
A little bit.
No.
I mean...
If you want a strange thing, you're really not going to get it.
No, I understand that. But I can tell you...
With that big filter, too, you can load it right up. You don't have to worry about your filter collapsing in.
No, that's true, too. And that's why I wish we had... I wonder if that paper would work. I could make that paper work in this. Here I am just rambling on about stuff, and Sam and I have talked about my rambling, because I just ramble about stupid stuff all the time. Because this, it creates a seal. So, like, I think that filter paper is a little thicker than the sap paper. Or the syrup paper. Oh. Guys, I wish you could be here. I really don't, but, you know. Just to get the actual, like... If you've never had real maple syrup, go out and support your local sugar house or sugar producer or sugar of any sort. I'm not trying to say, no, Aunt Jemima's not good. Oop, dropped a name brand that I never thought I would, but... You know, you don't need to, like, not support big name companies like that either, but, you know, support the little guy.
I don't think you need a filter now,
No, I don't, but I'll show you the finished product at the end. So we ended up with a finished product of about half a pint, so about 8 ounces, out of that amount of sap we did, or amount of sap we had collected today and yesterday. So, pretty good haul. For us at least, for a first boil, it's always good. It's always relearning the different, you know, the different things you need to remember. But there's your maple syrup video, guys. I know you requested it, so make sure you like, subscribe, follow us, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We do have the website as well, homestead.com. Not very active on there at the moment, but we're going to be getting there, posting some other stuff, these little projects here and there, you know. We don't just take the videos, we take actual pictures too. So, you know, until next time, guys.